Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of the McLaren M23 build. As promised in the first episode, part 2 is going to be what I'm using as reference material and what I'm going to be using as detail parts to bring a bit of life into the already pretty impressive kit. Reference material first. First things first, Haynes manual, because you're nobody if you don't use a Haynes manual. Bought this very cheap off eBay. Can't remember how much it cost me. Wasn't a lot. Worth picking up, just to, if you're a fan of the 1970s cars. It obviously tells you all about the car itself. A few pictures of the Yardley livery as well, but the section that I am mainly interested in is there. So it's got a number of very interesting but very useful photos to help you along with your build. That one, where are we? There we go. That one there is of particular interest at the minute because that's the section that I'm currently building. It goes through all of the chassis numbers, not in order either, it's just sort of scattered about. So if you're building the Texaco, the later cars, you'll have to sort of decipher, but it's got some lovely detail shots in it. So you will find it very useful. Definitely worth picking this up. Nice DFE engine shot there as well, so you can pick out details in that. Internals, not going to be using that, but yeah, for the price it was worth picking up. Bit of interest. The other thing I'm using, a bit more modern, is the website British Race Car. This is a fantastic website, really. It's got various cars on it. I'm not sure how many are relevant, how many you can buy as model kits, but the one that we're obviously interested in is the M23, and it's got a number of fantastic photos. Not all entirely 100% accurate. If that's your thing, if you're going to be completely accurate, then this is obviously a restoration car, so it has had a few bits and tweaks done to it, but the standard of the photos is superb, and the depth in it, you see every nut and bolt and every detail. So if detailing is your thing, this website really does allow you to look in depth. As I say, it might not be 100% accurate, but for somebody like me who just wants to build a half decent model, it is really useful, and I am using it an awful lot. So that's reference. What am I doing to add detail? I'm using that, or some of it, or all of it, who knows. It depends how far I get with it, because there is a lot of firsts for me on this kit. Hell of a lot of firsts. Let's go through various braided cables, Top Studio prime miniatures, the Tamiya stuff, obviously for the hoses at the back on the oil coolers, etc. And so we'll use a bit of those. Weld lines, annealing those and try and use those where I can. Hose clamps, I'll see if I can use those where required. This is the 1/20th and 1/24th, but I think they fit. Of course they will. It's going around certain size hose, isn't it? So Never used those before. As I say, there's loads and loads of firsts on this kit. I haven't got a bloody clue what I'm doing, but we're going to give it a go. Wire clamps, wire band sets. That's going to tie in a lot of the electrical wires coming from the back of the instrument panel, etc. Washers. Love these things. Absolutely love these things. They just stick little blob of glue, stick them on, and it lifts everything. Exhaust clamps. Again, never used them in my life. So we'll see if they make it onto the model. The Top Studio resin hose joints. Started to use a few of those as well. You'll see in the next video, in the update video. But you've got to use some of those. Air valves for the tyres, wheels, tyres. We'll be putting some of those on. And I bought ages ago the funnel and distributor set for the DFV engine, and fingers crossed this will lift it. So we got some coloured hose there for the fuel line. Lots of white metal bits. Never used that before. That's going to be an experience. But yeah, it should lift the detail somewhat. So we're going to use a bit of that. Now I think I read somewhere that the springs on here, these springs, are way too big. I got those. I hope they'll fit. If not, we're in trouble. To go along with that, ages ago, I also bought the cam cover and plug cap set, but I don't think I'm going to use these. I'll save these for another job. The cam covers, at least. I may well use these spark plugs, etc., and the rubber boots. I'll use those more than likely, but I've got I want to use the plastic ones for reasons which will become obvious in a minute. Various hex rivets. These weren't cheap. Zip ties. But bloody hell, they weren't cheap. Use them like decals, apparently. Again, another first. We'll see how we go. They were cheaper. They were a lot cheaper. We'll see. What else? Top shot. Aha! I bought from Spot Model banjo fitting for the brakes. But looking on the instructions, the front calipers, there's no point in putting them on. But I will stick them on the rears. Little bit of detail. And then I spent an absolute chuffing fortune. I mean a fortune at RB Motion over in the States. Took a month to get here. Is it necessary? No. Have I got more money than sense? Probably. But is it nice? Oh my god, yeah. Really, really nice. So I bought some rod ends. One thing I don't like in this kit, bear with me, which is typical of the older kits, so I gather, is the rod ends, and they're these clip-on C-clip type jobbies, and I didn't. Looks perfectly fine, and you can fill those in, so I'm told, but yeah, I got more money than sense, obviously, so I bought these. And these, I mean, you got your metal tube, so you can make a complete rod if you want, but I just think by adding them into the front frame, the battery sits in there. I don't know if that's going to pick up, will it? But yeah, but by adding those rod ends, it'll just make it look a lot nicer, especially when you stick a bolt through them to hold on. So yeah, I bought nut and bolt pins, I bought socket head cap screws. It'll become apparent why I bought these and what I'm doing with these. I've got lots of rod ends because I plan on changing every single rod that I can. The size of these shocked me, but the reason I'm not using those, the white metal cam covers, is I want to use the plastic ones because I bought that. Now, am I going to use all of these tiny pieces? Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll start with the big ones and we'll see how far we get. But I bought the valve cover detail set. It did surprise me how small that sort of stuff was, actually. I've started to use these clevises, so they hold the rod end bits where required on the front bulkhead. It'll all become apparent when I do another video, but they're working with the nut and bolt. Where are we? With the nut and bolt pins. Those three bits together are really lifting some areas, and it's, as I said, those C clamps is just blowing them out the water. It's really lifting the detail, and I'm pretty pleased with how it's going so far. God knows why I bought so many. I think I just covered my arse really, because I didn't know what I was buying. And yeah, more cut socket heads, more upset brake bleeders, little tiny job is there as well. But again, I probably won't need those on the front brakes because they're going to be covered up, but I'll use those on the rears. Toggle switches for inside the cockpit, and more upright kits, but that is for the whole rear section, that kit there, which, if done correctly, should make it look pretty smart. Sorry about my camera work, it's pretty pants. I'm new to all of this, so I will get better, I promise. But yeah, as I said, I spent a fortune, but it's beautiful stuff. And as I say, it is working so far. What I've been using from it, I'm really super chuffed. Spilt a tin of paint. I swore a lot. Yeah, really chuffed with how this RB Motion stuff is working out. As I said, it's expensive, but aren't all the good things. But it is starting to look very nice indeed. Wow, chuffed. So yeah, that is what I'm aiming to do. That is what I'm using. I hope that's entertained. I hope that's whetted the appetite for a bit more. And you're going to continue to follow me on this journey of bloody madness, sticking little tiny metal pieces, plastic pieces, onto other plastic pieces. Can't believe how much they were. God, must be mad. So thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe, comment, blah blah blah, and I'll catch you on the next one.